Okay, welcome back to another video. This is just a showcase video showing off um, the finished French Grand Fleet for the game Imperial Skies. This is from Brigade Models. I have a previous video showing the unboxing of what those models look like. Now I've completely finished the French force front to back. Everything that I physically ordered for the French side is painted. The French Grand Fleet pack, along with some fighters and bombers, consists of a dreadnought, which is supposed to be a battle cruiser, but it was a mispack. So instead of a battle cruiser, I got a dreadnought. I got two Messena class battleships, a Lore class battleship, two heavy cruisers. Back there we have three light cruisers. And then my cat moved this as he walked past, but there's 6 of this type of frigate and 6 of this type of frigate. And then added on to that, I have 3 heavy bombers, 4 medium bombers. There's 2 there, and then 2 squadrons of fighters of 9 planes each. Now, I'll get down closer and show you, but I'm really impressed with these figures. There's so much character in these models. I don't know, I'm kind of in love with this project, and it's taken me about 2 days to paint all of these things, along with the British, which I'll show in the second half of this video. I'll show them off, but I just want to focus on the French for right now, and I'll just pause the video here. We'll get down closer. I'll do it by hand, so it'll be shaky, but we'll get a better view of the models. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we'll start with the dreadnought. I have it on 2 bases just because it's a little sturdier that way on the floor, but it's a really nice model. It's got tons of guns on it. I think these 2 side turrets are supposed to be on the front, but it looks fine for me, and the French always have those weird designs anyway, so tried to do my best to paint all the little windows. But it's a fairly hefty model. Like, you can see it next to perhaps the Dystopian Wars French battleship. This one here is a really nice model, but this is good enough. It comes in close. So again, like I said, the Grand Fleet pack is not supposed to have this dreadnought. This was a mispack. It was supposed to be replaced by a battle cruiser, which is a lot smaller than this. Actually, kind of looks more like these heavy cruisers. But yeah, we got that. Then the next ship is we have a Lore class battleship, or a Lore, or however you pronounce that French word. Now these are just painted with black and German gray highlights, along with a brown with a lighter brown highlight again. But this battleship has a lot of guns. You can see it's got turrets all over the place. Really nice. This is the first of the Messena class battleships. I went for 2 twin turrets, one front and one back, and then several secondary single turrets. And then for this one here, I went with a triple 4 turret on the bow, and 2, you'll see them here, 1 midships and 1 on the aft of the ship, single turret, large caliber guns. Now the 2 turrets on the back they seem to be a bigger caliber than the front turret. I'm not too sure, but anyway, I had some extra pieces, so I decided to stick some turrets on the side of the bridge. Makes it look really imposing, but these are both the same class of ship, but you get different ways of laying them out. So you can see, for instance, this one has 2 funnels, whereas that one only has 1. So I thought in the bag, when I first got these, when I first did the unboxing, I thought that you got the options to build whatever you wanted. But no, when you order them, it's kind of like the seller's choice. He just puts in the bag what he thinks is a good mix, and you're stuck with what you get. But you do get enough options to build. There is enough options available to build 3 different style of this hull, and I got 2 of them because there's 2 in the bag. Then we work down here. We get these really unique looking French heavy cruisers. They have a little smaller caliber gun in the front on the bow, and then you have 2, you can see them there, 2 centerline turrets, kind of can go either way. And yeah, it's pretty nice. They look like a torpedo, so they're not my favorite design of all the ships. My favorite design is this Lore class battle cruiser or battleship right here. But they're still pretty cool. And then you follow that up with 3 light cruisers, and they follow the same style with the torpedo-looking style, but they have lots of guns. They have, I guess you get 3 broadsides there. You get 1 in the fore and 2 in the center on each side. With them, you also get these little frigates. You get 6 of these. And if I can zoom in there, you can see they have 3 turrets, all of a single gun. And they keep the French kind of torpedo-looking style. And then you get 6 other frigates, which have, if I can get my zoom to work, you have 2 turrets with dual guns, but they have a different style of hull, whereas you see the Dreadnought and the cruisers have this kind of torpedo look. They don't. They look more Britishy, have more of a pointy arrowed face, or stern, sorry. So that's the French ships. Then I painted up some fighter squadrons, very basic, obviously. There's 3 per. Now, you don't get the stands. The stands I had all from previous things. Actually, from a Battlestar Galactica project that I was working on. I have French fighters. We have some bombers. More fighters, more bombers. And then we have, for scenario play, we have 3 heavy bombers. And that is the French force for Imperial skies. Now, I can use these with castles in the sky as well, so it's not a big deal, but yeah, that's them. I'm really impressed. I'm just going to pause the video and take these away and set out the British, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back, and this is the British Grand Fleet. Now, this came perfectly packed fine. There was no packing errors with this one, so what you see is exactly what you get in the Grand Fleet pack, except the fighters and bombers, which are separate. Now, this has 4 British battleships here in the center. It has 2 heavy cruisers, 3 destroyers, although looking at the stats and the size of the models, I would classify them more as light cruisers, but essentially 3 destroyers. You get 4 of this type of frigate and 4 of this type of frigate. The difference being these are single turret or a single gun turrets, and these are double gun turrets, and there's a mast and a flag, whereas these ones don't have any masts. That's basically it. They're basically very similar in size. Now, the 4 battleships, the main ships in the fleet, there's 2 different types. There is this type here, which is, I think, an Agincourt class battleship, and then you have the Benbow class battleship. When we get in closer, you can see them. There's quite big differences between them. But then again, I copy and pasted the French force, which is kind of slightly off to the side over there, you'll see. They got 2 squadrons of fighters, 2 flights of 2 bombers each, and then 3 heavy bombers here at the end. Now, these all have a very distinctive look, very pointy, like arrow-pointed ships. And I'm so impressed with the French and the British that I have since made 2 further orders. The first order I made was for some German ships, which initially I was going to get, but I decided on the French instead. But the quality of these models are so great that I ordered some Germans. I also didn't like the look of the French aircraft carrier, so I ordered the Japanese aircraft carrier, and I will convert it into a French carrier, just some turrets and just some paint job and a flag. But I ordered also the British aircraft carrier, the HMS Furious, along with all of the available British battlecruisers that they had. They have several battlecruiser styles, and they all look so good, along with a couple more battleships and a Dreadnought. Yeah, and there's my cat saying hello. Yes, hello, Sheriff. I'll just pause that while he does this thing. Okay, so the almighty cat attack is over, and just a few fighters knocked over. But yeah, just continuing on. I was so impressed that I bought several more. So I have a British Dreadnought coming in, several battlecruisers coming in, the carrier. And then I went to Scale Creep Miniatures in the US, and I found that he had several different types of ships in stock. And I ordered some of them too. So although I bought originally the French Grand Fleet and the British Grand Fleet, they are now 100% painted, ready to go. I'm ready to play. I just need to get some. They have this Imperial Skies has specific movement templates. I have to print those off and make some of them, and I'm hoping to play my first game of this this weekend. I also have to find the mast and flag off this destroyer. It fell off in transport down to the basement. I'm not sure where it's gone, but it's disappeared. But I have some extras from the pack, and I can replace it easily enough if it goes missing. Yeah, so that's the British fleet. Just going to pause right here, get down close so you can see these models up close. They are beautiful models, and the British battleships are mainly resin. There is some metal turrets and stuff on there, but they're mainly resin. So they're pretty light and they stay on these little stands pretty nice. The rest of the ships are all 100% white metal. The heavy cruisers back here, which are fairly big, they are a little unstable on these little small bases because of the weight of the white metal, but we'll see that when we get closer up. Okay, just one sec. Okay, we'll start here with the British battleships. Now, I'm not going to show you all four because two of them are just copy and pasted. But this one here is the Agincourt. You can see it has 4 turrets, 2 fore and 2 aft, and then some secondaries and tertiaries there in the side. It looks like a proper battleship. It has a very unique British kind of square bridge. And then you get the Benbow, which has a very unique bridge, which I really like the look of. But it sacrifices 4 turrets for 3 turrets, but it also has this like launcher, flight plane launcher. I'm not sure what that does in rules yet, I haven't played it. But they're very unique, very cool looking ships. Again, easily painted. Like I can't express how easily it was to paint these things. Even the little windows, although there's a lot of them spread throughout the entire fleet, they were actually very easy to paint. So I wasn't upset about that. It was just tedious. Right here, you can see my cat there. Look like I'm trying to get him to play with the ball. What a fool. Anyway, you have the cruisers. Now these are Exeter class cruisers, and they have, you know, very British looking. All metal though, so very, very hefty models, but really nice. And you can see the size of them next to the capital ships. You know, they're what you would expect. But what I love about this series of ships is that all the ships, they've kept the same kind of aesthetic throughout all of the ships. So even the destroyer just looks like a little cut down cruiser. So instead of dual turrets, he's got a single turret, but everything else seems exactly the same. So these are technically destroyers, it seems, in the rules and by the description on this website, but these look very much like light cruiser size to me. So I think in my games I will refer to these as light cruisers. And then over here you have these frigates. Now I can never remember what's what. There's Cossack and Steadfast. I think the small ones with the little single turrets here, if it'll zoom in for me. Let's see here, can I get it to zoom in? I think the small one, this is a Cossack class, I think. I might be wrong. But these to me would be like little corvettes. And these might be the Steadfast. These kind of seem like little destroyers. So if I put them next to each other over here, sorry, moving the camera, to me it's a heavy cruiser, light cruiser, and destroyer. And then this guy's even smaller, a tiny bit smaller, and he would be the corvette. That's how I would classify them just from looking at them. But yeah, that's them, really nice. And then you have the fighter stands here, which I just very rudimentary painted. You know, I don't need a whole lot of detail there. There's also some bombers. I think these are bombers anyway. I'm going to use them as bombers. And then these are the heavy bombers. Quick and dirty paint job there. No need to spend too much time on that. But yeah, that is the British fleet, and then we have the French fleet kind of off to the side there. And yeah, there is about 23, 24 miniatures in the British fleet, and there's about 17 or 18 miniatures in the British fleet, and about 22, 23 in the French. Again, if you kind of get hit by the bug of this game and you order the French Grand Fleet, you're not going to get the Dreadnought. You're going to get a battle cruiser instead. So you're not going to get this big boy. You're going to get a smaller, much smaller battle cruiser. But if you can see the size of them, the British battleship versus the French Dreadnought, you know, very unique styles. And again, I can't say this enough, but I am very, very, very impressed with Brigade models and these figures. And thanks for watching. Sorry about the quality of my video making and editing, but we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.